Welcome back. In this edition, we're going to look at few things that we can spin up to get our project started. Now, to do that, let us quickly look at the items that we need to check today. First, we need to create a project repository. Of course, I already did that for you. All you need to do is to clone or download. Now, before we move forward, if I use any term that you're not familiar with, you can as well pause the video and try to search about it so that you can get better understanding. I'll try my best to sound very simple so that we can all get along. So first, once we finish the repository, I also have Docker on the list, but intentionally we won't be doing this in order to minimize the complication of this project. We can come back to it later, but we're just going to do things that we really need right now. So once we're done with the project repository, the next is to explore database schema. Now, this is all we will need in order to store the searches, the memories, and all of that. Also, we're going to be implementing the document model as well. And with this, we can be rest assured that every document are well handled. You may be new to all of this terminology, but hey, we are in artificial intelligence era, so I believe you should be able to catch up. Once we're done looking at the Django basics, we're also going to look at the Nest.js scaffolding. And this really would get us started because at the end of the day, this project, we need at least two major components. You need the backend where you do a lot of the heavy lifting, process data, store data, authenticate users, and all of that. On the other hand, we also need the front end where the customers we interact with and even also the agent within the corporate organization. So those are the two components that we're going to try out. And the cool thing here is that I am going to show you how I use artificial intelligence to develop my product. And I will show you what I spend most of my time doing. Initially, we spend a lot of time coding, but right now it seems that what we really spend our time doing is writing documentation. Not that we write documentation manually, but in a way to format what we do, we sort of like create documentation which you would see along the way. Just to give you an example of what I'm talking about, the whole of this project will be powered by artificial intelligence. And let me show you an example. If you go to the home of this repository, the first thing you want to do is download this repository. To download, I think you can just check out this commit. If you come here, maybe later this commit will have increased, but right now I have the first 3 commits that I've made. For those who are new to what commit means, commit majorly is more like version 1, version 2, version 3 of how you save documents if you don't want to lose any of the version. So we have version control system that allows to do that. So when you click on this commit, you're able to see my various commits. I want you to specifically click on this restructured doc 2. So once you do that, it's going to, you can click on this code icon. It's going to open this very commit, regardless of any time that you get to this very page. All right. Once you do that, all you need to do is you can go ahead and download, either download the zip file or you go ahead and clone the project. To clone the project is pretty much simple. You can just open any of your terminal and do git clone. In fact, I would say that anything you don't understand, just Google it. Look for a very short video to help you. So you could just say how to clone GitHub repository. And with that, you should be able to get this same project that I have in my local machine in your own project as well, just similar to what I have here. Okay, before we even talk about my test editor here, let us take a look at one other thing. If you look at what I have here, you can go through this documentation. If you watch the overview of this project, I had spoken about the whole of this. But like I mentioned in the overview, I didn't create these things myself. And what I have promised is to show you almost everything along the way so that you understand how this is done. Okay, now how did I arrive at this? So let us go to my AI. I use Cloud AI. It could be that your AI is Gemini or yours maybe ChatGPT, whatever it is, they work similarly. But my preferred option is what I'm going to be showing you. So I came up with this prompt. The project we're about to create, I say create a detailed PRD. PRD means product requirement document for customer support chatbot with RAG. Of course, we say RAG is retriever augmented generation. Okay, then I gave it more context. What I want to use is Llama 3. I think we're going to use Llama 4 actually, because you just released Llama 4. And also, is either we use Llama 4 or ChatGPT. So whatever it is, I just gave it that open window to have more context. Then I gave it further description just to have an idea of what we want to do. Then I hit the enter. Now, before I hit the enter, I ensure that I enable the extended thinking. All right. On ChatGPT, I think they call it deep search or deep thinking, whatever it is. Just make sure that you enable the toggle button to give you the opportunity to think further before chunking out options. So right here, I could see the way it think and the processes that it had to come up with the response. While it came up with the response, we had a couple of chats, follow-up chat, follow-up chat, follow-up chat until I had something that works. So what I'll do is I left the link embedded in the README file. So if you just click on the doc, if you click on the doc here, just at the top, click on the doc. And when you click on the doc, you click on the week 1. Then you check the update git here, this very file. Okay. For some reason it's not here. Okay, let's just check this week 1 properly. Git update, it should be somewhere here. I know for sure. Okay, yep, this is it. So if you open these up, you should be able to see the cloud prompts that I have there for you to view what I have. So you can just read through it, look at my pattern, see the responses that it gave, so that you can also use it to come up with whatever thing that you are doing. The cool thing here is that after I got that very voluminous response from the AI, the bunch of the work again is now restructuring what the AI had said. Now, I know in some cases you may not really understand, and the reason why it's very important that you learn about the fundamentals of some of these things. Yes, the AI would make life easy for you, but it doesn't make sense to communicate with somebody when you know fully well that you can't speak the person's language. That is going to be a very difficult thing. So one way is you need to read more. You need to take fundamental resources if you're new to things like this. But on a try your luck basis, just if you can follow the instructions closely, you can as well just build what we're trying to build. And there is no better way of learning. But at the same time, you can even ask the AI to explain several concepts that you don't understand. For those who are already pro, I'm taking this much time to explain further because we have people who are new to technology, and I want to ensure that I have everybody. So once we move further, one other thing I wanted us to look at, okay, now that we know how the documentations was generated, the next thing to do is to look at our code editor. Now, this very code editor I'm using is called Cursor. For some, you may use the likes of VS Code. In fact, Cursor and VS Code, sometimes I don't even know the difference because I just feel like this is exactly like VS Code. But the important aspect of Cursor is that is AI enabled. You can check out Cursor on their website. Just check more about it. Cursor settings. You shouldn't go to my settings anyways, but this is their landing page. Let's see if we can go to their landing page. That didn't come out well. Let me see again. Cursor, let me remove the settings so that you just go to their landing page. Okay, yeah, this is their landing page. It's more like a companion or something that helps you to code properly. And the difference between Cursor and every other AI layer is that AI agent like Cursor could understand the context of your code, and I'll show you how this really correlates. Okay, now when we come back to Cursor, I had broken down the document into a couple of steps here. There's so many things going on here. I broke them down just step by step so that we're able to follow through what we need to do. Remember that we look at some bullet points initially. This is quite similar to that, and even if you come down here, you see something similar to what I was trying to do. Okay. Now, the first thing is we said you should pull the repository and try to have the project. So all you need to do, just follow the step that I said, download the repository, or you can clone it. Once you do that, the next is to set up your initial data schema, your migration. And this is just simply saying that we need to create certain things. But before then, I think the first task I have here is that we do a bit of, let me see. Okay, all right. If you're not familiar with this Cursor tool, please just get some quick videos to show you how all of these things work. So let's just create our README. I think our first README, or yes, we're going to have a couple of plenty README in this document. Let me see. Okay, so this is one README. Let's just have that. We're going to update this later, but let us find a way. Okay, at this, I think the README, create initial README. Let me see where it ends. Setup branch. Okay. I think it ends here. Yeah, let's just end it there. So I'm just going to do that and say README. This is just a document to say what we're trying to do. Okay. Now that we have this one, we can see that. So let's see for the instruction that we have here. Setup branch, rules, and all of that. We can come back to these. This is more like just protecting our repository. So you can see git init, git add, and all of that. I really want you to just look for git basic tutorial. I also try to put the link in the video description, but you really need to know how that works. But I'll try to explain when we get to use it. Okay, now let's go to the next segment that talks about Docker. So I said we're going to skip Docker for now. Now let's go to the database schema, and let's just quickly take a look at what is going on here. Now, if you take a closer look, we're saying design core database schema, create diagram, blah, blah, blah. We need user, we need document chunk, embedding, conversation messaging, and all of that. We need a couple of applications to make this work. So in asking the AI to create the document for me, the PRD document, it was a very brilliant decision for the AI to come up with something that really make a lot of sense. I think this is the entire product overview. Let me see what I'm trying to do here. Phase 1, version 1, let me see. Okay, all the way to the latest. All right, I think. Okay, yeah, so this is it. So you can see that it gave us all the, you can see all the versions that we had. Like it went through, thought through again and again. So majority of times, you need to bend the AI. You need to like criticize it so well, so that it can give you what you want. And that means that you need to kind of keep learning and being able to effectively communicate with the AI. Now you can see that all of the instructions that I have are here. So I don't even think that's all. Okay, so after I got this, the next thing I ask is that you should create a product setup guide. Yes, so this is now where we get the software specification itself, I think. Let me see, there's a point where, there should be a point where, okay, yes. This is where we get the specification itself. And so now, because I know that this was a lot, then what I did is then to break it down. So what the AI did was to merge the implementation of both the front end and the back end, even GitHub, Docker, and all of that. And I know that that is going to be a lot of context, or the document is going to be confusing. So I broke it down into what you can see here. That same long document is what I just broke down here. So this database schema now is just strictly database schema. And I'll tell you why I broke it down just in a couple of minutes. Okay, so I won't be able to tell everything going on here because of time. But one thing I'll say is that also, if you really want to know what is going on here, you need to look up Django basics or Python basics. You need to just watch it. You may not understand, but just watch it. I am going to further talk more as we go on, but the goal of this video is to achieve that structure that we need. Okay, so I think the first thing we have here is we need to create some sort of environment. And for us to do that, we can say, so create an environment. Yes, create an environment. Environment, majorly, when you hear the term environment, is currently now I have a lot of Python project running in my system. If I don't have environment for every of them, it just means that there would be some clashes between the projects. So we oftentimes create environment to isolate projects. So it means that, hey, look, if I need anything in my room, it should be in my room alone. If I need to do something else for another person, I'll go and create another room so that whatever I've done in my room will not affect what I'm going to do in someone else's room. That's exactly how the environment works. So we're going to create one environment. We're going to install Django. We're going to check the version and all of that. And the cool thing here is that, like I said, we're going to use AI to do almost everything. So all I need to do, one of the reasons why we are using Cursor today, is that we can ask Cursor to implement this very document. Okay, so all I need to do here is, you can see I can just click this plus. By clicking this plus, it's already selecting this file. You can see the name. It knows this very file now. So all I need to do is to write my instructions. So I could just say something like carefully review this document and implement it. Ask me questions. questions when you need clarification. Okay. So let's just hope that the AI is smart enough to implement all of these things, and once it's done, we can find a way to test it out and see what we have. You can see a lot of these things if we were to do it by ourselves. This is the reason why developers take a lot of time to implement certain things, but let's rely on AI to do that. So we're just going to wait a couple of minutes and watch the AI agent get to do the magic. And so currently now, let's see what let's see, saying something here that I don't understand. Okay, cool. It said, I will help you implement blah, 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 blah. First, let me analyze. Now it said project structure, create Django project. Okay, I think he understood. Install. Yes, he understood. Then, yeah, all of the segments, it understood. Okay, API structure, implement CRUD. Do you want to use Postgres database? So it's asking me a question now. If so, do you have Postgres installed? I think we're going to use SQLite. Would you like would you like to use the exact project structure? Yes, including the separate settings, blah, blah, blah. Do you want to implement the Celery integration Asynchronous right away, or should we focus on the core functionality first? So these are very brilliant questions. Are you planning to use Widget? So we can start, I think, with the first one. We can say, so I don't have, I'm not sure I have Postgres installed. I'm not sure. And also, not to complicate things for you, Django comes with a very lightweight development mode database. So we're going to use SQLite. So we just tell it SQLite. That's what we're going to use. So I'll just tell it use SQLite. Then second question says, would you like to use exact project structure? I'll say use exact project structure. I'll tell it to correct any error you find. Okay, so the next one is, do you want to implement Celery? I think yes, we have given it implement. I think we've given it instructions, so she implements Celery. So let me just say my responses. 1, 2. You also need to help the AI to really understand what's going on. So 3, implement Celery, and 4 is going to be that. Are you planning to use widget functionality mentioned in the schema? I think you should, or should we focus? Maybe we want to come back to widget, but let's give it a try. Yes, we use, just say use widget. Okay, so now let's see the magic that the AI is able to do. Now, for those who are trying this for the first time, I forgot to mention, there are a couple of things you need to install. And part of those things is that you need to install Python. And I think maybe the best way to go about this is that you need to find a way to just look for videos to say, setting up Django project on your laptop or Django Basics, check out Django Basics. You should be able to find some of the things you need to install, because this tutorial is just focused mainly on what we can use AI to achieve. So trying to go into all of those little things would take a lot of time, but I'm going to be telling you all the resources that you need. So as I'm saying it, just note it down and look for the resources for more help. So we can take a look at, all right, so why, instead of running this, so often I wonder why every time I run things like this, you always run into problems. So I just copy the same thing here, and I am going to just, oh no, I'm going to run it here. Let me see what I'm doing. I can't even see what I'm doing. Can this just go off? Okay. Okay, so let me just paste. Okay, something isn't right. Let me just copy it again. Just copy it again. Okay, yes. So this is what we use to create the Python environment. So we notice a new environment has been created. Do you want to select it for the workspace folder? So I think, should I say yes or no? I don't even know right now, but we're going to do that. We're going to activate it when the time comes. Okay, so the next thing is we can skip this. We can skip, and it should continue implementing other things, because the goal is to create that environment, and we've done it here. You can see the environment there. So the next thing is trying to install. So this is trying to install what we have in our requirement, or TST. So all of these things. Okay, so I can just as well copy this. So yeah, I would have just said yes when the Python, when the whole thing asked me, when there was a prompt asking me if I needed to activate it. But let's just do that manually. So to do that, so this is command line, and all I am doing right now is to write some commands, so some prompt. If you don't have this open, all you need to do is come to your terminal, then new terminal, then you should be able to have something like this. Okay, so what I need to do now is I am pasting. Okay, I need to activate my environment. So I will explain what I'm doing right now. Let me see. To activate my environment, what's even that command again? Script. I think it's capital S, script. Then maybe this. Okay, yeah. So this is the command I was looking for. This is the command you need to activate what you have here. venv. So we're entering this folder. We're going through the / script. If you open this, you find script, another folder. If you then open that, you find activate. So that's just what we're doing. So if I activate it, you see that our environment is activated, but something isn't right. And let's see what we have there. Okay, I think the naming is wrong or something. So we have venv. Venv is what we have. Let's see the error that we have here. You say the venv could not be loaded. For more information, run blah blah. Okay, we shouldn't have that problem actually. Let me see. Scripts. Oh, I think I found the issue. So script should have S. You can see the folder here has S. And if we click that, it's now activated. So let me just remove So let me see. Okay, this is still running. What can I do now? I think I can skip. Oh, we haven't done this one. We haven't installed requirement or TST, but I think I need to accept. So I'll skip this. I'll accept. So let me see. So we've accepted. Let me see this again. Okay, now let me clear this. Okay, so now we need to install. These are requirements. That we need to install everything. So all I need to do, remember that I copied these from here. I copied. Oh, so this is even already giving us the activate. I didn't even see it. So I just copied this part. I mean, the code we ran initially was something like this. So I just copied that pip install requirement. So if I paste it, what we're just saying is that install everything that we have inside of the requirement. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so you may have installed startup package, okay. All right, I think this is just a warning or something. Would you like to create a virtual environment with these packages? I think no, because we already have an environment. So what we're just doing is installing. Okay, while we're doing that, let's take a look at so we're just currently working concurrently, and if I feel too fast, you can pause, take your time, digest what I have, and let's see what you can do. And if you have any question, please just leave it in the comment section. So while we're waiting for this to complete, let's see the next thing. So it's saying Python manage.py start app. Python manage startup. So I think it's trying to start all the applications, and let me show you what that means. But for some reasons, okay, I think we're good. So let me show you what's all these lines, what they mean, and what Python is trying to, or what the code is trying to achieve. So in our doc, we said that in this schema, we have a couple of applications that we need. We said we need user, document, chunk, embedding, conversation messaging. You can see that's what it's trying to do here. So first, it's starting an app. But I'm just a bit confused. I'm not sure it has started Django project yet. So because we install so I have the step here. So when we did activate, we installed Django. Yeah, we didn't check the version, but we can do that if you want. You can just check the Django version. Then we also check for Django. Okay, so Django admin start project. Yeah, so this is where I think we have missed some step, and I think the AI2 is just helping us to miss some steps. So we need to start the Django project. In fact, we need to have even gone into the project. So let me see what we can do here. Let me see. I'm not sure if this is downloading. I'm not sure. Okay, let me just open another terminal. So as I open another terminal, I need to, that is taking a while to load. So I did Control R to search. Control R to search, and you can see all I just searched for right now is SC, just to give me the script. Then I'll press the right arrow to select it. So I'm just activating it again. Let me see if this is done. It's still behaving as if it's loading. That's fine. So now we want to start a Django project. Like we want to start Django project itself, and we're giving it the name AI Chatbot Backend. So you should create a folder outside here with what we need. Now, that is going to do all of this magic, all of this manual thing that we have here. This very prompt is going to do all of that for us. So I'll just go ahead and create that. So it may take a while. As you can see, we have the project being created. If we check it again, we have some skeletons here that we can work with. So sometimes, and this is where it's a bit tricky because, like I said, you need to ensure that the AI is doing the right thing. So just imagine how it has skipped some steps, and so we need to find a way to do it right. So now we need to go into this folder, because currently if you do something like ls, ls is a way to list what you have. You see where we are. Okay, let me just close this. I want to close this. Okay, so ls is just a way of checking your folder where you are currently. Well, it's not really displaying well. Let me even clear. Let me see if we can try it again. Let's see ls. Okay, now it's a bit better. So you can see all the files that we have. We have that very folder. We just created the docs, yes, and the readme and manage.py. Okay, so what we can do, let me bring back this. Okay, so now we need to go into this folder, like I said. So to do that, this command will help us navigate to the directory. I'll just paste that, and boom, we should be inside this very directory now. So what it is telling us to do is to start to run the server, but let's just hold on. Let's come back here and see what the AI has to say here. So the AI is trying to create the project, the apps. So let me see the names of the apps again. Core, we have documents, we have start app. Is it in our documentation? Well, I don't know what it needs. Okay, start. We have knowledge base. Then we have chats. Is there anything like conversation? Yes, conversation. I'm not sure it's there though, but we can just go ahead and copy it. If we need those app again, we'll create it manually by ourselves. All right, I will just paste that, and boom, we should be able to see all those new apps inside of here. So something isn't right. Let's see what's going on. Manage.py, start app, core, manage.py. Something is not right. This token and is not okay. I think it's just complaining because we're using Windows. Okay. So what we can do is we can just copy them one by one. If that's the problem, we can install them one after the other. Let's try. Okay, that is not working fine. Okay, so I can just even go back to our AI and just ask some questions. So I can say that and is not working for Windows. It should understand. So this should give us the right combination for Windows environment if everything goes as planned. So this is us trying to combine multiple segments or multiple tools. Okay, there's error here, no problem. So I will just go to something like ChatGPT for the rescue. I'll paste the same prompt here. I don't think I copied completely, did I? Okay, this didn't even, and is not valid in Windows. Okay, I think it's the same thing. You're right. So let's see the solution. Okay, example. All right, PowerShell. So I think this should be the solution. Let's just copy it. So what's the difference? So this is semicolon. Oh, interesting. Semicolon works for Windows rather than double and. That's okay. Let me clear this so that we see what we're doing. And maybe even make it bigger. So I'll paste what we just copied and we should be able to install it. I just want you to pay attention to this very folder. You see all the apps that we spoke about being created. You can see the core. We have the core. I think you should be trying to create the next one. And we should have all the application. We have the core. We have the document now. We should have more. We have the core. We have the document. Let's just wait a bit. We have the knowledge base. And if you look at inside of them, you would see some couple of files. And these files are the Django basic structure that you need to manage your database and also make your link, your endpoint available to be used at any point in time. Okay, so the next thing is to, let me see, I think this is done. Okay, this is done as well. So now we've already run this manually. I can just go ahead and skip. So once I skip, it's going to go ahead and continue the instruction. I see the command was rejected, blah, blah. I notice you have both, yeah. So it's noticing that some of those files have been created. Let me check. So it's still thinking. So it's trying to create base.py. All right. And so it will just take some time to create all of these things. But just to explain the structure of Django. So one thing to consider every time we look at projects like this is that every app like this takes a function or a functionality. And it depends on how robust your application is. So this is what we're going to be used to manage our charts. This is what we're going to use to manage our core function, which we'll get to. And as well, okay, so this is the base settings. Let me see. Okay, base settings. Let's just accept. Celery, let's accept. Okay, so at this point, I think it's trying to create a model. And let me show you where we are on the task. We are making progress. You can see that we're just watching, ensuring that the AI is doing fine. And so it's done creating the settings. It just finished this. So it's currently creating widget, I think. Okay, it's creating model for document. Okay, this is it. This is where it is right now. It's creating these. It's creating all the model for document, and pretty much, I think it's done with that now. It's currently working on conversion model. We can just keep accepting. Okay, now core config is still working on that. I will accept it. And as you're accepting it, you'll be able to see the differences here or the changes being made. So some of our work really right now is just monitoring to ensure that the model is doing the right thing and being able to translate what is going on at every point in time. I'm going to accept that. All right, so it's currently now still working on the chat config, and the chat config, of course, you can see it's inside of here. It's currently working here. So accept it, and that is done. We'll accept this one as well. So it's also working on the URL. Now it's currently working on the URL and it's applying the URLs. Okay, that's nice. All right. Okay, so we have multiple URLs because every of the application here would have their own URL, and the URL is what you use to link your resources to wherever you want, whenever you want people to have access to any of your database. Okay, so I will just accept, just accepting, and we're seeing the way it's thinking. So now let's create knowledge-based service. So trying to create a knowledge-based service, and let's check our schema and see where we are on our project. So it has created chat model. In fact, it's done with all the model. It's done with creating the URL. I'm not sure if it has created view though. Okay, accept all. Yeah, so it's currently working on views now. It's currently working on views. Right. It's currently working on views. And it's adding all of those views while we're just here chilling and watching for the magic to complete so that we can test. Now, this is a lot of prompts, and it can only take a structured way to be able to achieve this length of task that we're giving to the AI. Because just imagine that I come here to type, I want to create this, that. You run out of words, you run out of English. So that's why it is very important that your structure is solid. Now, those structure becomes the knowledge base. Okay, now at this point is saying that we need to run migration. Now, on Django, running migration is important. And what does that mean? After we have created all the model, for example, models like this. Wait. Document didn't have model. That's not possible. Maybe something is wrong. Okay, let's check core. So where are all the... Let's check chat. I'm worried though. Or is it that... review file. We need to accept. I wasn't accepting. Okay. So we need to run this migration. This migration is not going to work without us accepting all of those files. So I'll just keep this. We'll run the migration by ourselves. I think it's pretty much done. Yes, it is pretty much done in running all the things, and it's telling us what it has achieved. So let me see the URL, the model. Okay. Core, I think we have it. So let's just go ahead and run our migration. If anything is not okay, let me clear first. If anything is not okay, it will let us know. So like I'm trying to explain, when we run migration, it's more like you're creating the record for the database. Because at the end of the day, what we've written here are just a couple of English, right? So when we run migration, we write some sort of database structure that the SQL or the data machine can understand and format our data in that manner. Okay, so if we run this, if everything is fine, if our model structure is properly done, we should be good. It said no changes was detected, and why should that be? I think I should know why. It created the migration by itself. Let me see. Okay, first, now let's take a look at something. I think something may be missing. If we look at settings, so in our settings, let me search for installed app. Yeah, all the apps are not listed, are they? We have admin, message. All the apps are not listed. So I can just go ahead and list them. So you can see the Cursor AI is helping me with autocomplete. No. So we have chat, core. Let's take a look at it gradually. We have chat, we have core, we have document, then we have knowledge base, Okay, so that's what we have now. The reason why it wasn't showing then was, or the reason why nothing happened, we didn't register all the installed app in our settings, our settings.py. So now that we have done that, at least if something is not done properly, we should know. So I'll just hit my up arrow to bring back the previous command. And boom, we still have no changes. Is that what we see? No changes was made. Okay, I think we're having some issues here. Okay, now let me even see this migration, initial migration. No, init.py. There are no migrations. Okay, let's look at the app. Admin. The name of the app is Chat. Okay, this should work. So what are we missing? Let me see. Okay. Oh, we have a problem. All these apps are not in the folder, I think. They are supposed to be inside here. Oh, I see. Okay, now let's try to move every of the folder inside. Is there a problem? Okay, wait. Sorry, let me just open this from the Explorer because it's a bit confusing right now. Okay, so we have the okay. Now I want to know what is wrong. I think the AI tried to create ease. Let me see. Okay, so we have double. While we were busy creating ours, the AI too was creating its. Okay, so now let me see. Okay. So now that's a problem. So what we have the right structure in our project, but we don't have the model. And we don't have... Okay, you know what I would do? We could just as well try some things out here. So Um, uh, we just had a contradiction right now. The AI created its version outside of the instruction we had given it. Meanwhile, we created ours in the right place. But it had also done good job to add files into what it is here. So what I need to do, I can as well just copy. I'll do this. I need the view. I need the URL. I'll just cut them. So this is inside of chat. So I'll just paste it here. That's if it's going to work. Okay, I don't think that is working. But let's do the magic here. Let's do the magic here. So I can just go ahead and open another tab, paste the URL so that we can be on the same page. Why is it not taking me to? Ah, this is strange. Oh, it actually did. It just was very slow. Ah. Okay. So now, let me see what we have. Now we need to replace the chat from the outside here. So in fact, I think we could just do something like this. Why not just delete? I can just go ahead and delete what I have. And just bring that of the chat. So we have core. In fact, we have this, we have this, we have this, we have this. What else? We have core. Let's move it here. Now let me see. So env blah blah blah. In fact, I think I should just move the env too, just to not cause confusion. We can as well move the requirement so that everything about Django is in one place. We can move the manage.py. Okay, I think it's already had one, so we can just get rid of this one. What else of Django that is supposed to be licensed? Okay, I think we're good. So what we just did was we remove the one that we generated and just use that of the AI. Okay, so now we should have a more cleaner environment because I was confused. I was seeing multiple of those things. So maybe we should have just waited rather than creating it by ourselves. I think that's one confusion that we had. So rather than running those instructions by ourselves, should have just waited for the machine to do its own. Okay, now that we have these running, the next thing is let's try to run our migration and see. At this point, cannot import Django. Okay, cannot import Django. Why is that? So let us deactivate. The cool thing here is that, let me just remove this one. The cool thing is if I do Command or Control K, I can ask a question. So deactivate env, venv. Yes. So it should give me the prompt to do that. So the prompt is just deactivate, and that's all. So the next is we want to activate it again. So I can just come here again and say activate venv, and it's going to give us the command to do that, and we're going to run it. So it's pretty much cool. Okay, so now let's try to run the migration again. The reason why we deactivate and activate, let me show you why. Remember that we moved our environment from where it was, a folder before, here to this place. So I think it's unable to make that connection. So that's why we just have to do that. Okay, now let's run migration and see, all things being equal, it should be able to run the migration now. It's still saying no changes found. At this point, I am pretty much worried. But let's see. No changes. Could it be that it had done the thing for itself? Let's check each of the app. So each of the app, there are no even migrations. So let me see. Okay, there are no migrations. Now let me see settings. Let's search for installed app again. Okay. So for instance, let's see this app. What's the name? Chat. Okay. So now let's just create another chat and tell it the problem that we are facing. Let me bring back the command line. So I'll just tell you that when I run make migrations, I get no changes detected, even though none of the apps has migration folder in it. So now, I mean, it's an issue that normally I will have to start searching. So right now, I think it's trying to get rid of the settings.py, and it is also trying to work on it. All we just want is that our application works. So rather than spending a lot of time to debug, you can see what's going on here. So it's currently regenerating the item for us. Okay. Yeah, so make migration. I think rather than just running those things one by one, we can as well just repeat what we said. Make migrations. still the same thing. Okay, you know what? Let's try its approach. This is very, very interesting. This is very interesting. So we had to put the names of the app for it to work. All right, now, so let me show you what I was looking out for exactly. So every of the folder now, every of the app then have migration folder. So finally, we need to run migrate. So it just makes me wonder if everything works well, we should be good. Can you see it applying the migration and boom, we are fine. So the next thing I want to say is clear. So Control K to ask the question. I want to run the server just so you have an idea of how to use the AI to ask questions. So in some areas you may not even really understand what you need to do, but you can just ask the AI. So now we're asking it to run server for us, and let's see what it's able to do. So it says that warning is already running the server. It's running the server on port 127 port 8000. So let's check it out. Can you see? Now we have our Django application running. At least we have the template running. Let's see if we have admin. Yes, we have the admin app as well running. I can tell you that usually if I am to do this before, without the help of artificial intelligence, just this setup alone can take weeks sometimes. But here we are in less than few minutes. We have knocked it down. We don't have an app running that we can log into and make sense out of it. So this is how we wrap it up on this very edition. I know it's a very long stretch, but I will encourage you to rewatch again, rewind, practice along, just try it out. You may encounter more problem than I did, but again, you have artificial intelligence available for you. Just ensure that you're able to articulate the kind of problem that you're facing so that you can get better recommendation. If you're yet to follow us on all our social media platform, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can be notified every time we release a new tip. Don't forget to also uncheck the bell icon so that you can get notification. My name is Noah Latoi, and I'll see you in the next one.